welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, thanks so much for joining. My name is Misty, and today I am bringing you another episode of our Decades Legacy Challenge. As you can see, we are back with our O'Hara family, and we are entering into the year 1947. The family has just celebrated Gemma's adult birthday, and they are just gathered around the kitchen here, spending a little bit of time together. As you can see, we do have some embarrassed people in the family. We are having a little bit of a communal here in the kitchen. There are a couple of our Sims that smell a little bit funky. The kitchen smells a little bit funky, and there's some embarrassment going on because of that. And as you can see, Evangeline is fed up with the smell. Overall, Gemma is feeling really inspired. She does have a little bit of shared sadness because Booker, I believe, is really having a hard time with the loss of Liam and Edmond. And it is really hitting him a lot harder than he thought it was going to. It is really having an effect on him. That being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. The guys are all just having a little bit of cake, and they are enjoying themselves this early Friday morning, having some cake, having some conversation. And Gemma is just explaining to them that she had a great birthday, that she was really happy that she was able to celebrate it with them. She does miss, of course, that she wasn't able to celebrate it with Liam. Everyone is noticing their absence, and obviously she is really feeling a little bit sad that he wasn't here. Booker and Joseph know that Joseph's class is going on a field trip, Norma's class is going on a field trip, and Lindsay's class is going on a field trip. Okay, so we've got some kids going to some field trips today for school. So we will be sending them off to some field trips. We are obviously going through a little bit of a loss still. We are probably going to be dealing with that. As these big milestones come and go, obviously they are going to miss them. You know, we know that it is time for their field trips. Okay, guys, go ahead and go off to your field trips. In life, that is the way it goes. You have your losses that you go through, and you know, time does sometimes make it easier, but when these holidays come up, you obviously miss the people that you've lost in your life, and they are experiencing that as well. So even though they had a good time celebrating Gemma's birthday, they obviously feel that absence of their family members and really do wish that they were here to celebrate with them. Today is Love Day, and I am not sure if we will be able to celebrate and do anything where Love Day is concerned. We probably won't have a whole lot going on with Love Day. I would like for Lindsay to meet someone because she is our heir, and it would be nice for her to be able to meet someone. So I may go ahead and start working on trying to find someone for her, in the sense of her just meeting some people, getting to know people and things of that nature. But I don't think we'll have her meet the goals of the Love Day milestone or anything like that. Gemma is just running around cleaning up around the house and making sure some of the laundry is done, tending to some of the chores, while the other kids are headed off to school now. She is going to, after she deals with some of this laundry, go ahead and get a little bit of practice in for her music. She does need to practice for her job, so I am going to go ahead and get her practicing a little bit on her music, and then once her practicing is done, she can tend to the garden or the chickens or whatever needs to be done around the house chore-wise. This is pretty much what her daily routine looks like. She makes sure the kids are fed before school, she deals with any chores, gets her practicing in for her job, and then if there's anything else she can do before she heads off to work, then she does those things. But this is pretty much her life on a day in, day out basis, and she has really gotten herself into quite the routine, and it is working like a well-oiled machine. Now, this was not the life that she had saw for herself. She did not ever think that she was going to be raising this many children by herself, or that she was ever going to have to do this alone. She had obviously thought that Liam was going to make it back home and they would continue on this life together. But that, unfortunately, is not the way things worked out in this story. So she is having to work doubly hard to make ends meet here, and she is having to do all of these things by herself now. I think that Gemma would really like to one day take her kids to learn about their heritage, and she wants them to know about, all of the things that she can for her side of the family. Her kids know all about Cora and their father's side of the family, but they don't really know a whole lot about Gemma and her side of the family. And she has been thinking a lot about taking them to Mount Komorebi so that they can learn about her heritage. And she really would like to take them on a trip, but she doesn't really know how she can do that, especially considering it is just her and the kids, and she is working all the time. It says here, when the teacher asked for volunteers to help set up for the Love Day dance, Booker was quick to raise his hand. Not only would he get out of class for a few hours, but be given a unique opportunity. Does he decorate or prank? Oh, he's totally going to decorate for the best dance ever. He might have been tasked with setting up for Love Day. Okay, and then we got, in celebration of Love Day, Evangeline's class made tissue paper flowers. The teacher asked all of the students to give their flowers away to someone special. She's going to gift flowers to Brighton Day. He went ahead and decorated, and it would be remembered for years to come. Okay, Booker, you are awesome. And she spotted an old man alone in the park. She reached into her backpack only to find the bouquet of tissue flowers had been demolished by her homework. There's a lesson to be learned here. Oh, the poor thing. So as I was saying, Gemma really does want to teach them about their heritage. She is really wanting to take them on a trip. She's not sure how she's going to be able to swing that, considering she is a single parent. She has to work in order to provide for them. Yes, they have the pension from Liam. They have the pension from Edmond. They do get payments for that. And so they do have quite a bit of a nest egg set up and saved up, from not only the pensions that they had received and the insurance from their not making it through the war, but also from their crops that they sell and things like that. So they have a lot of money. But not only that, we are going to be redecorating the house in the 50s so that it looks more 50s style. And so I will be spending some of that money to redecorate the house in the 50s, but I do think that we will be planning a trip soon to Mount Komorebi. We will be doing that most likely to teach the children about their heritage. We'll probably be seeing them go to Mount Komorebi in some of the upcoming episodes, I would think. We probably are going to do that because Gemma has been thinking about the fact that she wants to teach her kids about their heritage. She thinks that it will be good for them. She's thinking to herself, we definitely need to plan this trip. I want to be able to do this while I still have kids around and in the house. I want them to know about their lives and like who they are. I want them to know about what makes them who they are. So we are definitely going to have to plan that trip out so that we can go ahead and teach the children who they are as people before they go ahead and move on with their lives and get set up in them marrying off or whatever the case may be for their futures as well. Because as you can see, we have, 4 teenagers as it is, and so they're not going to be in this house for much longer. They're all getting older, and soon they'll all be moving out, and Gemma is going to be by herself. I say Gemma's going to be by herself, but they'll be moving out, all with the exception, obviously, of Lindsay. Lindsay will be the one living here and raising her family here. But the other children will be moving out and getting their own places when they find families of their own, or whenever they decide that they want lives of their own. They'll be moving out for whatever reason or whatever their life is going to look like. So Gemma has gone ahead and dealt with the plants. She has done everything that she needs to do. She is just finishing up some of this laundry here. The children have been going ahead and actively participating at school today and getting their studies done, and the other 3, the older ones, were at their field trip. She is just trying to make sure everything is top-notch around the house because, as we know, she does have to go to work. So when the kids come home from school, they will actually come home and then she will go to work. And so the kids will be by themselves while she's at work. So she wants to make sure that when they come home, the house is tidy and they don't have to really worry about anything once they're here, aside from getting their homework done and things like that. Now, once they do come home, Lindsay is the oldest, and, well, Lindsay and Norma are twins, so they're the oldest. they will obviously be going ahead and taking charge, and so Lindsay will make sure everyone's fed and things like that. I say Lindsay because she is our heir, so she will be the one that we will control and obviously make sure that there is something fed, cooked for the family to eat and things like that. So we will ensure that she cooks something up for everyone to eat. She is just repairing this dryer that's busted up. Hopefully she doesn't get electrocuted, because that will be not good before she has to go into work. But it does look like her handiness skill is going up, and so we love that for her. She is really becoming pretty independent now that Liam is gone. She is learning a lot of skills that she didn't think that she was going to ever need to, utilize. Handiness being one of them. She was like, I never thought I was going to need to fix a dryer, but here she is having to do that because Liam isn't around, and she has to do what she has to do to take care of this family. So she is just cleaning up after herself here, and then I'm gonna have her go and take care of the chickens. So Gemma is just going ahead and feeding the chickens, making sure that they have everything they need. She doesn't want them running off or deciding that they aren't cared for, because we know our chickens are a little bit temperamental in the sense that if they aren't cared for properly, they always tell us they want to run off. So we have to make sure they're fed and that they're cleaned up after. And so she's making sure that that is done. It does look like Lindsay has returned home from school today, so I am just going to go ahead and get her to check the mail, and she needs to get a little bit of fun in her life. It looks like she is really struggling in the fun department, so we will go ahead and queue up for her to do something fun. I'm not exactly sure what she may want to do that's fun. I might be able to get her to listen to a little bit of music. She can probably wind down with some classical music and see if that will help her with her fun. And if not, then there's got to be something else that she could do. Maybe she could do a little bit of painting. I am not all exactly sure what she considers fun. She is instantly going to work on some homework. The kids do come home and want to constantly work on their homework, and it does look like Gemma is going to have to repair another item in the house that has busted up, which is a toilet. So I'm going to get her down here working on that as well. But all of the children have returned home from school. It looks like they are all pretty tense. They look like they all had a pretty rough day at school today, so they are all going to need to have a little bit of fun. Everyone is in desperate need of some hygiene and some food. So we will make sure that once Lindsay gets her fun up, she does get some food cooking up for the family. There is a little bit of cake in the fridge, so some of the kids may go ahead and opt for some cake. Let's face it, they are Sims. They like their cake. I can't stop them from eating the cake. They are going to do that of their own accord. Let's go ahead and let them do that. Looks like Booker has a little bit of French toast, and Joseph is going for the cake. That being said, Lindsay has decided to come out here and watch the flock of birds for fun. That's what she's decided to do in order to get her fun up. So we'll just get her out here socializing with some of these animals. She can pet the rabbit, socialize with the rabbit a little bit, watch the birds, and see if that will help get her fun up. And hopefully it will help rise that fun up at least a little bit in order for her to get out of this funk that she's in. She is really, really tense. She's had a pretty rough day today at the school, it would seem, and it has really stolen her amusement. She's desperately needing some amusement in her life. I think that all of the kids need a little bit of amusement. I think back in these days, it would have been really difficult to kind of get some amusement in your life. But also, there may be a situation here where we could probably send her out for a jog to clear her mind. I think if she went out for a bit of a jog, it might help her out a little bit. It might give her a little bit of insight. So I don't know if that will work or not, but I am going to go ahead and just try it and see. In some cases, the Sims enjoy that, and in other cases, there are some that don't. So we'll see if she is one that is receptive to exercise as a medium to get some fun and to actually get your mind cleared. And hopefully she's a Sim that enjoys that. Because if so, that's really going to help us in the future when she's pretty tense. So we'll send her out and let her get a little bit of exercise in and hope to goodness that it helps with her fun. And if it does, then obviously in the future we'll know that whenever she's tense, we can send her out for a nice run and that'll help her out. So it looks like we have a situation where we've got some anger and Gemma is advising him, you just need to talk it out with someone and everything's going to be fine. It does look like Lindsay's jog is helping in the fun department. Her fun is going up, so that is great news for everyone involved. Her especially, because her fun's going up. We're going to have us a happy sim, which I love. And now we're going to have her be able to go ahead and do some other things. I mean, obviously she's going to need a bathroom really soon. She needs a shower. She needs to wee. So we'll send her home after she finishes her jog and she can take care of some of her needs. And then I'm going to get her into the kitchen and I'm going to get her cooking, because by the time she gets back, Gemma's going to be heading out to work. So she's going to need to cook something because she is going to need to feed the family. They are kind of tending to themselves and helping themselves to a little bit of this and that. But I do want her going ahead and cooking up a bit of a meal, because some of them aren't going to get fed, and I want them to have the option to have an actual meal and not cake. So I'm gonna make her cook. Whether she wants to or not is really irrelevant. She's gonna do it whether she likes to or not, because honestly I really need her working on her cooking skill as well, because she is, like I said, our heir, and so she does need to know how to cook. So now that her fun is way up and she's doing so much better, her hygiene is extremely low. We're going to go ahead and take her in and let her get a bath first, because I don't think she's going to want to cook while she's this dirty. So the first thing we'll get her to do is get to a bathtub and she can get herself cleaned up. The rest of the kids are kind of trying to do things that's going to get their fun up as well. So our boys are reading as an option for fun. They didn't want to go out for a jog. I did try to get them to go out for a jog, but they decided they wanted to read, and that's fine. We have the boys that are kind of scholarly. The girls I'm sending out for a jog. So I'm going to send Norma out for a run as well. She may not really care for a jog as much as Lindsay did, but Norma is going to get sent out for a jog as well. And Evangeline, it looks like, is taking a little bit of a nap. Gemma is off to work. No, I want you to get a bath. You really desperately need a bath. So she's like, okay, I'll get a bath. So Evangeline is up. As you can see, she is tense as well. We're going to have to really work on getting everyone's tension worked out, because everyone is tense. It looks like Gemma is needing to either perform a encore or cede the spotlight. I'm going to have her perform an encore. It looks like performing that encore is going to get her a little bit of a pay raise as well as a little bit of spotlight. So we love that for Gemma, because honestly, we have now made her promoted to C-lister and she's got a little bit of spotlight. So she's now a notable newcomer. All right, so Lindsay has finally got herself cleaned up, used the washroom. Her fun is up. She's now feeling a little bit hungry. She is exhausted. I'm going to let her cook up this onigiri. She's going to make this and eat this meal, and then I'll let her head herself off to bed. It has been a very long day for her. She had school, and now she's had all of these things that she's been doing this afternoon. But she does need to go ahead and make a meal. So she's cooking this up for everyone. And she's not the greatest at cooking. She really needs to get some practice in. But hey, that's kind of what we're doing this for. So she's going to finish this up and have herself a bite to eat. Obviously, she is enjoying cooking. She doesn't really have a lot of skill. She doesn't really know exactly what she's doing. She hasn't spent a whole lot of time in the kitchen with her mom. The boys tend to go into the kitchen and watch their mom cook more than she did, which is unfortunate, because I think if she had spent more time in the kitchen with her mom, she would have a little bit more skill, but she just wasn't really one to do that. She spent more time with her dad and speaking with him and hanging out with him than she did with her mom, and she is a little bit more scholarly. She would spend more time doing her homework and reading books than she would be in the kitchen, so she just doesn't have that much skill. But she's going to spend a little bit of time here with Evangeline, and they're going to sing about this holiday, and she's so excited that it's Love Day. She doesn't have anyone to celebrate Love Day with, but she just loves the fact that it is Love Day. As you can see, she loves everything across the board on Love Day, and so she is going to be pretty upset that she can't celebrate Love Day with anyone, but she just doesn't have anyone to celebrate Love Day with currently. So I mean, that is unfortunate, but she is only a teenager. She doesn't have anyone that she's currently romantically involved with, so there's no one that she could really celebrate Love Day with. So all the children are just having themselves some conversation, some food here, and then I'm going to head everyone off to bed. So it is the next morning. As you can see, Norma has decided to help herself to a little bit of cake. I know, some more cake. Bloody cake. I can't keep them away from it, so I just gave up a long time ago on trying. But she's having some of Gemma's birthday cake. Gemma is up. She is just getting some of the chores done as she does. And she is really feeling sad from not being able to celebrate Love Day. Obviously, she would be sad about that because it is the first Love Day that she's had since Liam has been gone. She is really feeling forlorn about that. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that it's the first Love Day since Liam has passed away. I don't even know what to do with myself. And so she's really, really upset about the fact that she didn't have anyone to celebrate this Love Day with, that her love of her life, her spouse, is gone. And so she's really, really upset with this whole missed holiday with him being gone. Everyone's kind of down about the holiday that just went by. Obviously, no one really got to celebrate the holiday, and we do have a little bit of sad feelings across the board, with the exception of maybe Evangeline. She just didn't care one way or the other. Everyone is going to get up this morning and just have themselves a little bit of breakfast after I have Gemma go ahead and make some breakfast. So I am just going to get her in here. She's going to make a little bit of eggs and toast after she gathers the laundry up, and she's just going to get that all squared away. I wish he was not playing in the trash, but clearly that is what he's doing. So how about you stop playing in it and you actually throw it away? Let's do that. If you were doing that and Liam had been around, he would just absolutely die. Like, he just absolutely would. It looks like Booker and Joseph both have work in an hour's time, so they will be heading off to their part-time job. Lindsay is feeling extremely flirty this morning, and she's also hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and get her to come on down, and she can just get some leftovers. It does look like there were a little bit of leftovers in the fridge that she could go ahead and grab. That way she doesn't have to wait for Mom to cook breakfast. She's like starving now, so we'll just let her go ahead and grab some leftovers. Mom's just gonna go ahead and get started on that breakfast. Norma couldn't even wait for breakfast or anything and refused to even eat the good leftovers and just had her cake. So you can't win with Norma. Norma has a mind of her own. So the boys are just going ahead and taking care of some of their needs before they have to go into work, and then they will head themselves off. And Evangeline is feeling really, really playful this morning, which we love. Now, it is almost 1947. We're heading into 1947, and Evangeline will be having a birthday really shortly. So we will be celebrating Evangeline's birthday in this episode, which we absolutely love. She's going to be aging up into a teenager, so we'll be celebrating that with her and seeing her in her teenageness, which is going to be lovely to see. And then I can't believe it, but we're actually going to have 5 teenagers in this house and Gemma's like, I can't believe that I have 5 teenagers. This is ridiculous. I can remember when I had these children and they were so little, and I thought to myself, I've never loved anything so little in my life. And, you know, now they're all so big and they're just growing up, and they're just, soon they're going to be moving out and they're going to be having babies of their own. So Lindsay's asking, you know, I've texted someone and what should I do? Should I text them again? And she's like, no, you shouldn't. You should just wait for them to respond. You don't want to be overzealous, you know, calm down about it. And she's like, oh, well, I didn't know. Like, I thought I should reach out to them again. And she's like, no, why would you drive someone insane? You should obviously just wait for them to respond. Maybe they just had something going on and they just haven't had a chance to reach out yet. You know, patience is a virtue, Lindsay. Patience is a virtue. And she's like, okay, Mom, calm down. Besides that, who is it that you've reached out to? I really would want to know that as well. Who is it that you've reached out to? So Lindsay is going out for another jog, it looks like, which we love. We love that she's going to do that because honestly, it seems that she has really taken a liking to the exercise, and Evangeline is going to clean up a little bit and take out the trash. We love that Evangeline is so helpful and, likes to clean up around the house. It is super, super helpful for Mom because honestly, there are a lot of kids in this house and Gemma can't do everything by herself. She just can't. She is glowing from having that obsidian eggs and toast. It says that she is glowing from that. What does it say here? The power of the golden chicken. Okay. Well, we love that. I don't know exactly what that does to her, but I guess we will keep an eye out and find out. But she is glowing, so that is interesting. But she is going to go ahead and get some laundry done here, and we will continue on with that. This house and their laundry, it never ceases. It is ridiculous. I have never in my life, honestly, at least with a smaller family, there's less laundry. But with this big ass family, there's just so much laundry, it never ends. So she is finishing up that. The boys are at work. The girls are just tending to their own needs. It looks like Joseph is already running behind schedule when he attempts at a particularly cluttered yard. He clears all the toys but notices there are sticks on the grass from the trees above. Should he pick them up? Yeah, he should pick them up. And he got a performance gain small. Okay, great. We love that. Any performance gains in work is a great deal, and we love that for us. Evangeline is just coming in to chat with Mom a little bit. Okay, Evangeline, what is it that you need, my love? Booker now is running behind schedule, and he also notices stacks of sticks. But this says, I've been trying to do homework for school, but they feel really hard. I'm not smart enough. What do you think? Well, I think you need to focus on some different topics. And her conflict resolution has increased. We have made Booker go ahead and run over the sticks, and he got a performance gain as well. So they both did two totally different things, but they both got a performance gain at work, which we love. And so I think that means they are both going to get promoted at some point, which means extra money for the boys, and that's great news. Any bit of extra money coming into the house is a bonus, and I love that. I'm gonna go ahead, since she is so flirty, and get Lindsay painting here a little bit. That painting had been sitting there for forever. I have no idea who it belonged to. Truth be known, it probably belonged to Liam, so I went ahead and scrapped it, and we will just let her paint something flirty. Norma just broke the bloody sink. Like, Norma, what the freaking hell? She's like, Mom, I am so sorry, but I just broke the sink. And she's like, yeah, I saw that. I totally saw that. Golden chicken has made Gemma dazed. Oh, great. Well, I'm pretty sure she has to go to work today, and now she's going to go to work dazed because of this bloody golden chicken meal, which is not ideal at all, that she's going to be dazed at work. But thankfully, she got a promotion yesterday, so I don't guess we have to worry about too much because she won't get a promotion 2 days in a row. So that's okay that she's dazed. We will just overlook it. We'll just overlook it. But for now, she is going to go ahead and fix this sink, and then we'll have her clean up around the house here a little bit. Maybe. The poor thing. She's just not having a good time. I'm going to go ahead and get Norma doing a little bit of the laundry. She can help Mom out. She's doing a little bit of her makeup work right now because the girls didn't do their homework. So I've got everybody doing a little bit of homework. I want them getting caught up on their school stuff. So I have Evangeline doing her schoolwork as well. So everyone's going to do a little bit of their homework. And Lindsay is just helping Mom keep the house picked up. So everyone's working together. And then Lindsay can come upstairs and she can do some math work as well. So Lindsay has come up to do her homework, and she is going to just get a little bit of studying in. Everyone had kind of gotten behind yesterday on their studies. Things were a little bit crazy. they came home all really, really tense, needing to get their fun up, and we focused mainly on just trying to get their tension away, and so no one really did the studies that they needed to do. So everyone now on a Saturday is going ahead. They are working on their studies, and the house is predominantly getting picked up. It's majority of the way tidy, and so they are focusing now on their studies. So everyone's going to do their studies, do their makeup work, do any extra credit that needs to be done, and get themselves to a place where all of their homework is done. As you can see, Gemma is just having herself a little bit of a read at the fireplace. The fire is not going because it is not really cold enough for a fire, but she's just having a little sit in the living area, having a read before she has to go into work. She's feeling still a little bit dazed from that meal that she had this morning, but the girls are all just doing their studies. The boys are still at work, and so she's like, it's kind of a slow morning for her. She's feeling a little bit tense from all of the chores that she's been doing this morning, and she's just needing to kind of relax. So I'm just letting her do that. We are going to actually go ahead and have Lindsay, when she's done with her homework, call over this person that she had met the other day, because I want them to kind of get a little bit better of a friendship. So we're going to call him over and see if they can work on their relationship a little bit. I think that he could possibly be someone that she could have a really good friendship with, and that friendship possibly could turn into something more in the future, maybe. I don't really know. We'll have to see. But they had a pretty good friendship off the bat. Like, they got along pretty well when they first met. And so I'm going to have them go ahead and see if they can have a pretty decent relationship, that maybe something comes of it. I don't really know. But we're going to invite them over and see if they kind of get on pretty well. We will go ahead and let her and Neil just spend a little bit of time together. So they are going to just have a little bit of conversation. She's going to get to know him a little bit, try to find out a little bit about him, ask him about his day. We're going to ask about anything we can just to get to know him a little bit better, see if he wants to go out and cloud gaze. They're going to discuss the news a little bit, and she's just going to try to impress him, really. I mean, you have to think about it. He is a young adult and she's a teenager, but she's so smitten with him. She's like, I think that he is very handsome. You know, she is thinking like he's so mature, and she's just really curious about him. He has piqued her interest, and she really wants to get to know him better. And he's like, I think maybe looking at her like she's just this little, you know, kid, right? But to him, to her, like, he's this person that she could see in her life, and she's like so smitten with him, and just like, oh my goodness, right? So she wants to really get to know him. She really wants to maybe one day see them as something more, and she's hoping that he kind of sees her as that, but she doesn't really know how to make him see her as more. She just thinks, oh, he's so handsome. They are just getting to know one another. They're having a little bit of cloud gazing, and their friendship is obviously gaining in speed. And they are just spending their time out here. It's a lovely spring day. It is nice and sunny and warm, and they're just having a lovely time together, cloud gazing and really just spending time getting to know one another better. And she is just feeling over the moon about this. She couldn't be happier spending time with Neil, and she doesn't even care that he just thinks that she's some young kid. She just really wants to be around him, and she thinks, you know what, he may not be into me right now, but maybe when I get a little bit older, he might be. And that's kind of what she's hoping for. It just told us Judd's spirit is fading away. That's so sad. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. So they are just going to go ahead and finish this cloud gazing. As you can see, we have the boys are home from their job, and we have a bunch of sadness with Gemma. She's gonna go and cry it out. She is really distraught over the holiday of Love Day, and it is really, really bothering her, especially seeing Lindsay with Neil. Just really rubbed that in her face a little bit. Do you know, like, she just kind of sees them together, and even though there's nothing really there, just seeing her daughter with a boy made her think of Liam, and it made her so sad all over again. So she's gone in there to cry it out. And these two are just spending this time just getting to know each other a little better, getting a little bit closer. The girls do have to go to work in about an hour's time, so we will see her having to run off and go to her babysitting job. Her and Norma both do have a job part-time that they have to go to, and so they will have to do that because it's Saturday, and on Saturdays they go to babysitting. But in the meantime, she's talking about her dreams and proposing crazy schemes to Neil, and he is just eating it up. He thinks she is really funny, and they're just getting on really, really well, and he's like, that is great. You are so funny. I have never met a girl that's as funny as you. You make me laugh all the time. I have really enjoyed our time together. I really love hanging around with you. I realize that you're a lot younger than me, or maybe not a lot younger than me, but you're a little bit younger than me, and I don't know. I just normally wouldn't hang around with someone that was younger than me and spend really any time with them, but I just really enjoy spending time with you, and anytime you want to hang out, just give me a ring up and I'll come around. And she's like, really? Well, that's great news, because I love hanging out with you too. I really think that you and I could be really great fast friends. And he's like, I think so too. So these two are really getting on good. Their friendship has gone up really, really well. They've, been gaining some sentiments here. It says, I'm glad you think my llama jokes aren't getting old. You just really get me. So they're gaining sentiments. They are really getting along well. And I think that is the basis of a really good relationship, is having friendship first. And I think they are on the track for that. He's just out here playing in the pond. We love that. He's so precious. Oh my goodness. Love it to death. So I am going to go ahead and get the girls to head off to work, because it is time for them to go to work. And Evangeline here is just setting the table, it looks like. But why don't you go ahead, sweet girl, and clean up this mess, because this place is a wreck. Gemma has headed off to work as well. So everyone's at work. We're going to go ahead and just have the boys here. They'll be taking care of Evangeline while everyone's at work. While everyone's at work, the boys are just trying to get everything cleaned up around the house and keep it tidy. They don't want mom coming back and it being a mess. Joseph has gone out for a little bit of a jog. He was in desperate need of some fun, and so he's like, I've got to go out for a run. I need to get my fun up. I'm feeling really, really tense. So he's gone out for a run, and it's made him quite playful, which we love. Unfortunately, Booker is feeling really, really sad, and he is doing a little bit of gardening. Hopefully that will help with his fun and getting his mood up a little bit. Evangeline has gone off to bed. She went and put herself to bed because she was getting really tired, and the boys are just kind of tending to themselves. When they're done getting their needs up here, I'm going to go ahead and let them get some baths and off to bed themselves, and then the girls should be home from work and everyone will get to bed, and then I'll see you guys in the morning. So it is the next morning, bright and early. As you can see, Evangeline is up. She is just taking care of some of her needs, and Gemma has just woken. She needs to go ahead and get in the kitchen and get something to eat. She is feeling quite hungry. She's going to go ahead and clean up a little bit and then grab herself a bite to eat here. And then she is in desperate need of some fun. But I am going to go ahead and get her cooking this morning. She's going to need to make some food for the family because all of the children are going to be waking up hungry this morning. Everyone is going to need food. And I'm pretty certain that majority of that cake is gone. So food is going to definitely need to be fixed in the house because I believe we are just about out of leftovers. So I will have Gemma go ahead and start making some breakfast. And hopefully that will help get up some of her fun. I don't know necessarily if cooking will get her fun up, but you know, I'm hoping that it will because she is in desperate need of some fun, and she's like slamming things, which is not necessarily ideal. It is Evangeline's birthday. It's 1947, and she is going to be aging up into a teenager. So We will also be getting her a cake and celebrating her birthday today, which is super exciting. But first and foremost is obviously going ahead and having some breakfast. She is like, pardon me, son, you gotta move out of the way. Can't you see I'm coming through? Oh no, I think she's actually making the cake. So she's making the cake for Evangeline. Why is she not making the breakfast? I don't know. But she's making the cake. She's like, I'm making the cake. It's fine. Everything's fine. There's leftovers in the fridge. Just get yourself some leftovers. If I need to make breakfast later, I'll do that. So she has made the cake. Let's go ahead and put some birthday candles on here. And she's like, we will blow these candles out in a little while. And Evangeline is thinking, I'm going to blow those candles out as soon as you leave the cake. Like when you turn your back, I'm blowing those candles out and making a wish. Because that's what candles are for, is to make a wish. Like, honestly, I can't not make a wish. Mom, as soon as those candles go on that cake, it's like a beacon calling me to it. So I think that we will be seeing Evangeline sneaking on into here and making a wish before, she probably should. But that is the way of it. I mean, Evangeline would definitely want to go ahead and come on in here and blow out those candles just because, she can't help herself. Look how pretty that cake looks. She's just like, oh my gosh, look at it. It's so pretty. I mean, it really is a pretty cake. So she's going to sneak in here. Mom's turned her back and she's just like, ha 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 ha. Mom doesn't know, but I'm going to make my wish now. And let's see, what do I wish for? I wish I could be tall, and I wish I could be tall. Yeah, that's it. Make a wish. Haha. So, Evangeline has aged up. So we're going to randomize her traits for 1, 2, and 3. And she got glutton, child of winter, and unflirty. And I think I'm going to make her have a knowledge trait, and I want to give her the nerd brain. And let's go ahead and hop into cast with her, and I want to go ahead and give her her makeover. So let's just go ahead and jump into cast. I'm excited to see what she's going to look like, so let's do that really quick. And this is our Evangeline after her makeover and what she's turned out to look like. And let's quickly go through her outfit. So this is her everyday wear. And then we have her formal, her athletic, her sleepwear, her party look, her swim, her hot weather, and her cold weather. And I love how Evangeline turned out. I think she's absolutely stunning. And let's go ahead and jump back into the game. But guys, this is Evangeline back in the game. I love how she turned out. She is now a teenager. I think it is going to be amazing seeing another teen in the family. I can't wait to play with her in the series and to see what she's going to do in this game. But I am going to leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.